Madam President.
Senator from Wyoming.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, the House of Representatives is prepared to pass the President's energy tax.
The Senate is in a quorum call.
Madam President, may I ask that the quorum call be suspended?
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. The House of Representatives is prepared to pass the President's energy tax. It's also known as the American Clean Energy and Security Act. The act, therefore, is known as ACES, American Clean Energy and Security Act. Well, ACES is the right thing to call this particular bill because it gambles. It gambles with the future of the American people. In blackjack, the dealer might have an ace that's showing, but one card in the dealer's hand is always hidden. And in this case, the hidden card is the card that shows the real costs of this bill to the American taxpayer. What the taxpayer doesn't know is that the game is rigged. The taxpayer is going to lose. No matter how many times the majority adds to this hand another giveaway to special interests, another tax break to offset the monumental costs of this bill, the end will be just the same. The taxpayer goes bust, and Washington will win the game. ACES is the product of a supermajority that the Democrats have in the House of Representatives. Given the rules and given the procedures of the House, reasonable amendments are going to be defeated or even blocked from ever being considered. The final product will not be a real starting point to begin this debate on climate change. ACES is going to have a devastating effect on our economy, and we will see that there will be no environmental benefit from doing this bill. None. Now, that's not just my belief. It's not my assessment alone. It is also the belief of others. Martin Feldstein, noted Harvard economist, recent Washington Post editorial, an article, ACES will have a trivially small effect on global warming while imposing, so trivially small effect on global warming, imposing substantial costs on all American households. Well, how big are the costs? Well, he cites the Congressional Budget Office, which estimated that the resulting increase in consumer prices needed to achieve just a 15% reduction in carbon dioxide, slightly less than the target of this bill, would raise the cost of living $1,600 a year, every year, for every family in America. That's a $1,600 tax, $1,600 on every American family every year. The Heritage Foundation predicts that the ACES approach could cost the economy $9.6 trillion and more than 1 million lost jobs into the future. These are just the raw numbers. The real potential for economic pain goes much further. David Sokol is the chairman of Mid-America Energy. He points out that ACES, this bill, could be a bonanza. And who's it going to be a bonanza for? For more Wall Street corruption and more Wall Street greed. Because ACES is going to deal in investment banks. It's going to deal in hedge funds. It's going to deal in other speculators who want to speculate in the cap and trade market. David Sokol points out, if you liked what credit default swaps did to our economy, you're going to love cap and trade. Oh, coincidentally, the House bill, it actually allows for credit default swaps. Now, he's not even alone in his assessment. British scientist James Lovercock. Now, he's a noted chemist. He's an environmentalist. He stated in January that carbon trading with its huge government subsidies is just what the finance industry wanted. He went on to say it'll make a lot of money for people in the financial industry, and it will postpone the moment of reckoning. Carbon markets can also cause huge fluctuations. We can look to Europe as an example of what we saw happen there. In February of this year, the Financial Times wrote an article entitled, "Fall in Carbon Dioxide Price, a Risk to Green Investment." Seems that the price of carbon in the European Union had fallen so low that it's no longer even providing an incentive to lower the use of carbon. So those are things happening not just for this country, but around the world. Another problem is the huge economic gamble that ACES makes by bypassing cheaper, low-carbon fuels by heavily relying on unreliable, expensive energy. This ACES mandates that by 2020, the electric utilities meet 20% of their electricity demand through renewable energy sources and energy efficiency. Well, this is the wrong approach. We need an all-of-the-above energy strategy to address our nation's energy needs. We need to make America's energy as clean as we can, as fast as we can, without raising energy prices for American families. That's how you create, and that's how you then sustain economic development. So I'd say let's develop all of our energy sources: wind, solar, geothermal, hydro, clean coal, nuclear, natural gas, all of the energy sources. Our nation is so blessed with abundant energy resources. They're right here for us to use in a clean and environmentally friendly way. Coal is cheap and abundant in America. It's what's keeping our energy today affordable. Uranium is abundant in America too. Let's develop this proven zero carbon resource. And yes, let's develop all the renewable energies, the wind, the solar, the hydropower. We need it all. As Lisa Jackson, who is the director of the Environmental Protection Agency, well, she took a recent trip to Wyoming. This is what she said while she was in my home state of Wyoming. She said, as a home of wind, coal, and natural gas, Wyoming is at the heart of America's energy future. That's because Wyoming has it all. It has the coal, it has the wind, it has the natural resources of natural gas and oil and uranium for nuclear power. It has it all, and we need it all. The bottom line, Madam President, is that the Democrats' cap and tax bill, it costs jobs and it raises energy prices. I don't understand why we can't make America's energy as clean as we can, as fast as we can, without raising energy prices on American families. The administration wants to take a different approach. Why are the American people being given this stacked deck where all of the options hurt the economy, raise energy prices, and cost jobs? The President says we need green jobs. I agree. We also need red, white, and blue jobs. American energy sources. The reality is this partisan energy tax bill passing in the House is a bad bet for all of us. We shouldn't double down with any more taxpayer money to bail out the climate through an energy tax. Thank you, Madam President. I yield the floor and suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka.